It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It is indeed a Tuesday morning on your Feel Good Breakfast show. We're in the lounge with Dr. Darren Green talking about breastfeeding as a focus around women's health during Women's Month. And we're talking about the importance there of mother-to-child connection, the bond. Talk to me, Dr. Darren Green, about the psychological and emotional effects of breastfeeding.
It's quite magnificent how we are created, because, I mean, with that suckling reflex, there's a hormone released in the brain from the hypophysis, which is the pituitary gland.
Yes.
There's a little pea-sized structure in the brain that stimulates the different glands and organs to release hormones and chemical substances into the blood. And oxytocin, which is the same one after birth has occurred, that promotes the uterus contracting to prevent bleeding and so forth after baby's born, is very, very much implicated in the bonding process. So when the baby suckles, oxytocin is released as well, and that's also something that is associated with a bonding experience of that connection. But the baby is also created in an incredible way where it has tunnel vision, and not many people know that. So a baby's vision might just be limited for a period of time.
Wow.
So it focuses on a small thing at a time. Imagine it could absorb and see absolutely everything.
Yes.
It would drive that little brain insane, obviously, with the sensory integration. So it focuses on a tunnel, and what it sees at the end of that telescope is the mom's face, nose features, the eyes of the mom, and it finds solace and reassurance in that bond, in that connection. So while the baby's actually suckling the breast, looking up at its mom, there's a lot going on chemically in the brain, in the blood, and obviously that's how they're designed to actually fit together. It's quite fantastic.
Most fascinating. We've got Lauren on the line right now. Good morning to you, Lauren.
Good morning, Cass. Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for this program. I am definitely a mom for breastfeeding, exclusive breastfeeding. My baby is 2 months old. I am a sushi lover. I would like to know, I've cut sushi from my diet while I was pregnant. I would like to know if it's safe for me to have sushi while breastfeeding.
Great question. I love me a fashion sandwich too.
Don't we all? Wasabi especially. So yes, the simple answer is the reason why we advocate that you don't have lots of sushi at that time is because we don't want too much mercury and metal poisoning to happen that can affect the growth of your baby. So that's the first thing. Secondly, we also look at whether the amounts you're consuming are significant. But in breastfeeding stages, sure, you can go on to eat sushi again, so she can have fun.
Lauren, thank you so much for that question. But also then we talk about the intake of omega-3 fatty acids that are important for childhood brain development. So how then do you do that? Because, I mean, obviously salmon and things like that, that contains a lot of omega-3 fatty acids, but not in sushi. You don't want to have it in that form.
Yeah, so omega-3 is in all oily fish. You find the presence of omega-3 anyway, and it's essential for the nervous system development.
Yes.
So the ratios of proteins and the ratios of these omega-3s and immune-boosting chemical substances are actually perfect in breast milk. You don't actually need to supplement it. That's what's so incredible. It's when you can't breastfeed that you need to obviously look at where that's coming from in your diet.
Yeah, okay. Well, listen, when we come back, we're going to talk about the correct or incorrect technique of breastfeeding, whether there is such a thing. We'll continue our chat with Dr. Darren Green, and our lines remain open. 083-9133-728. Do give us a call with any of your comments or your questions. Right now, let's head on over to the kitchen. Ewan is standing by with Gabriella, and he put a ring on it. He put a ring on